All right, everybody, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well, and we're having a little bit of an odd week this week because of the late game being played on Monday night. But we do have ourselves some Youth Watch Tuesday to get through. Got some young players to look at, guys on rookie deals. How are they performing? How are they doing? Just trying to get a general sense for how this team is doing and getting a lot out of their cheaper players. So you guys know the drill by now if you've been on this channel long enough. Basically, we just go through, take a look at this list of players that are on either a rookie deal or a rough equivalent, and it gives us an idea of how the team is doing at getting a lot out of not a big expenditure, at least financially anyway. So, I will say that Milroe was inactive this week, so we're not going to have anything to say there, so we can just skip right over the quarterback part, which is always nice. Before we go any further, be right back. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today. Get to it and go have some fun with sports this year. All right, welcome back. So we do have some action with the running backs, the top two guys here. Weird game for both of them, honestly. Like the whole game, Charbonnet was looking a lot more effective and a lot more valuable. And then by the end of the game, Walker had like two big carries and the numbers actually kind of equalized out. And look, I mean, that's why I like having both guys. Some days it's going to be one guy, some days it's going to be the other guy. And I think that that's what this team needs right now. Both guys are very talented as far as running backs go in this league, I think, and we need that. We need that because this run blocking offensive line is just not there yet. And it's good to have two really talented guys that you can hope one of them really just has it and things really break their way for a few carries a game so they can at least get their numbers up. So numerically not huge, although Charbonnet did have the 2 touchdowns, which is always nice. And the PFF score, Charbonnet's went way up this week, Walker's went down. So you can see that clearly Walker's been better so far this year, but we need Charbonnet around here, and we need him to start doing a little bit more. We need him to start bringing it a little bit beyond what we've seen so far. So, yeah. Just kind of get ready to ride the wave. That's all I can say about this running game right now. It's not going to be great right now, and I don't know if we can fix it this year, but it's going to come and go. Receivers, though, there's one thing that is coming and coming and coming, and it's not going anywhere, and that's JSN. JSN, every game, he's putting up big numbers. Every game, he's making big plays. Another 8 catches, a $120, and a touchdown. Right now, I don't even think it's particularly close with him for Offensive Player of the Year. Like, I'm that serious here, guys. The guy is playing that good. And I know that Jonathan Stewart in Indy, or I keep calling him Jonathan Stewart, it's Jonathan Taylor in Indy, is putting up great numbers too, but he's part of a great offense in general. Like, that Indy offense is humming on all cylinders. JSN is this offense. JSN is everything. We don't run the ball that well. We don't have reliable number 2 and number 3 and number 4 targets. JSN is literally keeping this offense among the elite almost by himself. 830 yards in 7 games. Efficient yards. It's not like we're targeting him. We're not throwing him the ball 19 times a game. He's efficient. 92.1 PFF grade. Horton. Now this is a guy who will come and go a little bit. The last 2 games, no catches. Now he's still been valuable as a punt returner. I don't want to take that away from him, but we are seeing that he is a rookie and he's not all the way there yet as a player, and that's fine, but we can't count on him from game to game. There are going to be games where he's there and some games where he's not there. We got to be willing to ride with that. Still really like him, still really like where it's going with him, but overall, I do think that he's a passable number 3 receiver in this offense simply because we don't throw the ball that much, and when we do throw it, it's almost always to JSN anyway, but it's thin. Bobo had 1 catch for 3 yards, continues to be an afterthought. A lot of people thought that maybe Bobo struggled a little bit last year because of Ryan Grubb, but it's looking like the skill set is not there for him to really cut it in the NFL offensively, and there just isn't a lot he can offer. He's not even blocking that well, in my estimation, at this point, so there's not a lot there. Barner, he did do another QB sneak, which I really appreciate having that. I do think that it can't be understated how nice it's been to have somebody that can come up with that QB sneak pretty much every time we need it. That's been great. But he did only have 1 catch on like 62 snaps. And some days it's just not going to really be there for him, and I guess that's okay. But he's going to end up probably being the guy that we really lean on as the number 2 target in this passing attack, I think even over Cooper Kupp when we get to the end of the year. So I'm hoping that we can get to a place where he can at least give us 3 to 4 catches a game. Elijah Arroyo probably had his most productive day of the season. He had 4 catches, almost had a touchdown. But then he kind of ruined everything with a fumble at the end there. And, I mean, it's one of those plays where he just comes out of it looking pretty weak, right? You have that, you look at that play and you just feel like he got the ball ripped away from him like he's a little kid. And you wonder if that's something you're going to see again down the line. That wasn't a play where some guy came out of nowhere and just punched it in the perfect spot and it flew out. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm struggling with this Arroyo thing. PFF grade is still pretty bad. It's not looking like we're going to get a lot of mileage out of that Arroyo pick right now, and it's frustrating because there is some stuff he does that is pretty good, but it's not overcoming the other problems. Offensive line, it was a little bit muddy this week. Cross picked up his first penalty of the season, allowed 4 pressures, including a sack. Honestly, I don't think the sack was really his fault because Darnold spun into it. That was the strip sack. But they gave it to Cross anyway, and I'm not saying he did everything perfect on that play. His run blocking grade actually went up a little bit. His grade fell by 0.1, so it basically stayed where it is. So he didn't have a bad game, but Cross is not laying down the dominance these last couple weeks. So I know that there are some Seahawks fans out there that aren't big fans of Charles Cross, and I mean, I remain a big fan of him. I want him to be a Seahawk for a long time. I still think he's the best offensive lineman on this team by a wide margin, but not had his best games the last couple of weeks, and I hope things even out. Zabel picked up his second penalty. Didn't allow a lot in the pass rush game, so I can live with the penalty here and there, although the penalty did hurt. His grades actually jumped up a little bit. Obviously, he still has a lot to work on, but he's doing all right. Sundell actually had, according to PFF, by far his best game of the season. It was clean. No penalties, no pressures. They thought he did great run blocking and pass blocking. And he's actually almost at sea level now. He's almost at 60, which, that's no joke. 60 would be a significant accomplishment for a Seattle center. And I'm hoping he can get there, man, because we got enough going on this offensive line without having to think about center. But certainly going the other way a little bit here would be Anthony Bradford, who had 2 penalties after a full season of not having any so far. Allowed, how many pressures was it? Was it 5? His run block grade actually went up a little bit. They thought his run blocking was fine, but his pass blocking was like a 15. Really bad, and we're just not going anywhere, man. We're not going where we need to go. And I've been somebody who has advocated for being patient with Bradford, but I think that at this point, we've seen what we've needed to see. I think we've got enough information now to say that he's just not the guy And maybe we have to write it out these last 10 games plus with him, but he's not the guy beyond these next 10 games. Okay, now we're jumping over to the defense here. Byron Murphy, great game. I know he didn't put up monster stats. He had like 6 tackles and a tackle for loss, but it wasn't a complete takeover the way that some people might have expected with him sacking CJ Stroud a bunch, but he played really good. PFF grade went up to a 73. And remember, PFF is never going to give Murphy his due credit because he plays out of position on a decent number of his snaps. Mike Morris, he picked up a tackle in this game, 71.3 PFF grade. Look, it's not been great, but I think he's filled in admirably while we've had these injuries up front for these last few games. With D-Law out, with Derek Hall out, we've needed somebody to step up and play a little bit, and Morris has been okay. No big concerns there. And yeah, I'm happy that he was able to do something for us because he was a guy that I really liked when we drafted him, and never really happened, but he can play a little bit. Linebacker, Tyrese Knight did not play. He's basically been benched for now, and I guess I can ride with it because Drake Thomas is actually playing really well. He had tackles for loss in this game. I think he had, let me make sure here. He had 2, and they also gave him 3 passes broken up in this game. So he's doing something very interesting here. He's been great on the blitz. He has shown his coverage ability. And so far, you can't call him a liability against the run because these teams we're playing, they're not running the ball on us at all. They can't move the ball on the ground really at all. So I think it was like, 9 tackles for Drake Thomas in this game? Well, they gave him 5 officially, but I feel like it was a little bit more than that. But maybe it was like 6. And I'm thinking about Okada for some of those tackles. But PFF grade's almost at sea level now. So we're going somewhere here. It's better than I would have expected. Boye Mafe recorded no stats in this game, but he was still our highest graded defender on PFF. More on PFF either later today or tomorrow, by the way. But Boye Mafe had our highest grade by, I think, a pretty decent margin defensively, just because of all the pressure that he created. He did not have a tackle. He didn't have a sack. But they thought he was so disruptive, they still thought he was awesome. And, I'm all for that. I'm all for that kind of stuff. I think that you can provide a lot of value in that way. Derek Hall didn't play. Reek Woolen picked up, I think, 2 tackles in this game. He had 2 tackles, and he actually made some plays on the ball. 3 passes broken up. PFF grade did go up a little bit, although we are talking about he's starting from a pretty low place, to be perfectly honest. And he actually looked as good as he's looked all season. Maybe we're headed in the right direction here. He's got 10 games left. If he can prove it, then great. Witherspoon didn't play. Pritchett didn't play. Kobe Bryant had one of his best games of the year by PFF. Not statistically huge, 5 tackles, but he didn't allow anything big over the middle. Didn't allow anything over the top. 64.1 now, so rounding into form. And Eamon Worry, man. 2 passes broken up, 2 tackles, all over the place again. Loving what I see from Eamon Worry. Really enthused about where that's going here. So 81.6, had a good PFF score this game. I mean, he's ahead of where he should be. Like, he should be making plays. He's a playmaker for sure, but I think that we all expected he was going to be making a lot of mistakes this early in his career, and he's really not. It's not been a big problem yet, so got something cooking here. I'd love it. All right, that's it for your Youth Watch Tuesday. I will see you guys later today or tomorrow. Everyone have a good rest of your day. Go Hawks, and we'll see if I decide I want to post a nighttime video. I might not. I might save it for the next few days because we've got time anyway, right? All right, see ya.